So you probably get, the Senate passed the big beautiful bill today, so it goes back to the House, and we'll see what the two can agree on. And I think we probably do get a vote, maybe by the 4th of July, if not by the 4th, probably next week. Um, and and so you got, you know, Trump getting his big beautiful bill, and then most of his agenda items will be in there to pay for. He's getting he's getting tax cuts, and I think he's going to get, he's already getting some, and he's going to get a lot more deregulation. And so what you get is Trump's agenda getting pushed through, despite all the skepticism about what he was asking for. And I think ultimately, the market, at least this summer, is going to receive that pretty well. Be pretty bullish about that. And at the same time, psychology is such that, as I said earlier, um, you know, the vast majority of institutional investors have fought this bull market for quite some time, for really since 2022. They got very bearish, obviously, in April with the tariffs, and they're just coming around now as we make new highs to say, oh, maybe we got to get on board. So I think that's what you're going to see over the next month or two, is the benefit of Trump getting his agenda passed, and investors seeing that as a positive. Deregulation helping the economy, along with the tax cuts, and basically, as I've said for a long time, what you're going to see at the top, which, as I said, could be S&P 8,000 or higher, is most investors all in. Whereas they fought this thing all the way up, they're going to be bullish at the top.
Yeah, and it does seem like that because I think I read it a few months ago that a lot of investors were sort of staying out of the market, especially institutional investors, because they thought the uncertainty, it was too hard to tell. They thought it was going to come down further and further. And they've sort of been caught out now that the market's back at all-time highs. So do you see them sort of starting to flood in, as you said, as these negotiations are successful and a lot of these, I guess, geopolitical macroeconomic risks fall away?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, institutional investors are not. They don't go all out and all in. They are not in cash. They're more defensively positioned. Hedge funds might be more shorting the market, or more defensive, but I mean more cash. But the bulk of the institutional investors, they tweak their portfolios so that they're not aggressively betting on the beta. But I do think they are going to have to shift to a more aggressive, more offensive strategy. So that's what I think we see here in the next month. And meanwhile, I mean, you're still hearing talk on the street of, oh, this thing is up there. Maybe it doesn't have much more to go. So they are reluctantly getting on the bandwagon. They are not anywhere near all bullish right now. I think by the end of the summer that may be the case.